Hey guys, welcome to Blaugrana United. Welcome to another video, and today is finally time to talk about a video that I promised you guys that I've seen it in the comments and people have been asking for it, and here it is. My opinion on the 5 youngsters at Barcelona, the 5 talented players that we have currently at the club that could step up next season, and to a point we need them to step up for next season. It's going to be ranked in the list from 5th, well, they're all great, it's just at 5th, the positions where maybe we don't need them the most, and first, the player that probably shows the most promise at all for football in Barcelona. And to everyone that has been listening to my channel knows who I'm talking about in the number 1 spot. At number 5 we have Abel Ruiz, and Abel Ruiz is a very interesting forward. I'm not saying that he could become the best striker in the world or in history, or he's even going to be successful at Barcelona. He could be another case of Munir, another case of Sandro Ramirez, Deulofeu, Adama Traoré, Keita Balde. Like, there is cases of that. He could become a player like that, or if we give him chances and he gets settled at Barcelona, maybe he doesn't need to become our first team forward to be important in the club. Maybe he could take that role of 4th or 5th forward for Barcelona and take it well for a few years, where he will be playing a lot of minutes, playing centrally, playing off the left. He would perform very well for Barcelona, and I believe that at the latter stage of the season in Copa del Rey, and when we have those La Liga games with the Champions League games in the in the second half of the season, I believe that he could play an important part in just helping rotate Suarez and Griezmann in that central role, especially in the forward line. If you have any injuries, I'm sure that he can cover. He's right now playing for the under-19s. He's doing a fantastic tournament, the same as Juan Miranda. I think that, again, Abel Ruiz has a lot of potential, and I believe that for a sporadic role next season, if he's called upon, the little that I've been able to see of him this past season and what I've been able to see from him in Barca B shows a lot of promise, and I think that he would definitely do a good job at Barcelona. Coming into the 4th spot, we have Moussa Wagué, coming off a 2nd place finish in the African Cup of Nations with Senegal, and he played a very rotational role. He did feature in the group stage, but got bench more for the latter stages of the competition, and it's okay. He's young, he has years to play. I'm sure that he will be a mainstay of that Senegal team for years to come, and he looks very promising. Was very good when he started to play for Barca B. The very few performances that he was able to play for Barcelona were very impressive. I was very impressed with Wagué, and I would put him higher in the list if it wasn't because I believe that our right back spot is solved at all points. Like, yes, Wagué, I believe that to be at least that backup right back is good enough. Like, at least for a backup, he's good enough. The same thing goes for Juan Miranda, for Cucurella, for all these players that I've mentioned before. At least for backups, all these players in this list, I am guaranteeing you 100% sure that for backups, not for superstar world beaters, but for backups, and you don't have to have world beaters sitting on the bench every single game. You have to have good, decent backups that you can call upon. Wagué is good enough. I just think that with the likes of Sergio Roberto and the likes of Nelson Semedo, we have our right back spot more than covered. I think that his characteristics are very important. If we were to sell one of those players, I would be very interested to see him feature a lot more at Barcelona. I think that he could do a very good job for years to come. I think that adding his pace, his technical ability, his good vision, good intensity, good work ethic especially, it reminds me a lot of Dani Alves in his younger days. He's probably not as good as Dani Alves, or gonna be as good as Dani Alves, but that work ethic of always giving it everything in the pitch, being very concentrated. He's young, he has mistakes in him, but he could progress that, and he'll probably fix that as the years go along. In the 3rd spot is Carles Arena, current player in this list. Currently, the only 2 players from these 5 players our current Barcelona players, and Aleñá was promoted to the first team squad last season. He played a very sporadic rotational role last season, was utilized by Valverde kind of frequently when he needed to add a change of dynamic to the midfield. He was very effective in that some of the times, but the thing about Aleñá is that I saw him at Barca B, and yes, he's a player that obviously has great talent, really good with the ball, an amazing shot, really good goal scorer, like he's a number 10 clearly, but he can also progress in that defensive role, and he's been working to be an interior, so defensively he could improve, but he is at a moment defensively where he's fine for the moment of his career, but he needs to improve a little bit, in my opinion, the intensity. Like he seems to be a very humble guy. He probably is not a player to lose the plot often, but I think that he needs to be more active, more vivid in the squad. Like I just think that Carlos Aleñá, some of the games he's getting substituted on at the 60th minute, and he seems to be like, you know, waiting for things to happen, waiting for the ball to get to him. And for a young player, I expect him to go for the ball, like show up for himself, like Arthur, Ricky Puig, Frankie de Jong. These are players, like if you want to compete with them, you have to show something similar to them, and that is at least the attitude. But again, fantastic player, not saying that he has a bad attitude or anything, like I was saying that he can improve in that, and obviously all these players could improve in everything, or can improve in everything, and I believe that Aleñá needs to be, at least he's good enough for a backup, that we don't need to sign another center midfielder, and encourage that we need to let go of Ivan Rakitic. And I just want to put a little segue here. The video about Ivan Rakitic having to leave Barcelona is not an attack on Rakitic. I'm not saying I didn't say he's a bad player. I said that he's a legend, that I would love him to come back to Barcelona after he's finishing with his career, maybe take a part in any part of the staff at Barcelona. That would be great. But with players like midfielders like Aleñá and other players like that, we need to give them minutes, and Rakitic cannot stay because he's blocking minutes away from our youngsters. Our youngsters, the more minutes they get now, the quicker they'll be ready to be installed in the first team completely. And with Rakitic, that is just he's a stumbling block in their progress to be first team players. I think Aleñá, with his technical ability, good passing, good vision, good shot, really good shot from mid distance, good reading of the play, really good dribbling. He's very similar to Thiago Alcantara if I had to profile him in anything. I think that Thiago evolved really well as a center midfielder, and defensively he evolved a lot. He just couldn't stay as fit as possible with Bayern Munich, but I think Aleñá could progress into a player like that, and would be very interesting to see him at Barcelona with a few more years, see where his career is going to progress. And now, with the second place, we have the center back, the French center back that we signed from Toulouse last season in the January transfer market, and that is Jean-Claire Todibo. Todibo looks like he's going to be our fourth center back this season, with Piqué, Lenglet and Umtiti all ahead of him in the pecking order. But I believe that that's going to be good. He's going to be training with the first team squad. He's going to be training with some of the best center backs in the world. And whenever he's going to play, he's going to have time to play. He's definitely going to get minutes, because unlike other positions, center backs are a thing of a must. Like, there are minutes for every center back. Like, for 4 center backs, there is more than enough minutes if you're playing in 3 competitions. Just that there's not enough minutes for 4 starter center backs, but between the 3 of them, Umtiti, Lenglet, Piqué, assuming that they're all fit the whole season, they're gonna get a lot of minutes. But Todibo, with still some leftover minutes, could play 1,500, 2,000 minutes, and I think he'll be delighted with that. That'll be fantastic. 15 to 20 appearances will be really good for him, and he can even play in the defensive midfield spot, and maybe we could give him a chance there between that and playing at center back. Whenever we're playing 3 at the back, he could be an option. He's really fast. He profiles very similar in the two likes of Rafael Varane. He's a really fast defender with good defensive reading of the play, good tackling. He has good playing out the back. I think that he could maybe improve his positioning a little bit. I think that's his main weakness. But again, he's a really young, talented player that if he succeeds at Barcelona, if we can make him succeed quickly, he could perfectly be one of the best center backs in the world. I just think that potential-wise, he could be probably as good as the Ligt potential-wise. It's just that the Ligt we've seen more of, and he's been playing at Ajax. We know exactly how he's been thought to play, how he plays. We've seen in the Champions League, like we know that the kid is ready, but Todibo could be ready, and if he happens to be ready, then he would be a fantastic center back for Barcelona, and it would be really great to see him in the years to come. Now, for the number 1 spot, and there's no surprise to anyone that knows me, everyone knows me that I love Riqui Puig. I think that he's the best talent that has come out of La Masia probably since Lionel Messi. Like, I'm hold your horses. I'm not saying that he's as good as Lionel Messi or that his career is going to be as good as Lionel Messi. I'm just saying that he is probably like between Busquets and Messi, like that era, he is the new talented, like the new gem at Barcelona, the new star that we need to make succeed at this club, whatever it takes. Like, I already thought that the likes of Deulofeu were players like, Deulofeu, Grimaldo, really good players that should be succeeding at Barcelona. But with Riqui Puig, it's not only that he's an amazing player already at just 19 years old, almost turned 20, I believe. But not only that, but he seems like he's Catalan. He's from Catalonia. He loves the colors. He's saying that he doesn't want to go on loan. He wants to stay at Barcelona, fight for his place. And that's the kind of attitude I want. His parents and his surroundings seem to be very focused, to keep him very focused. Like, don't lose the plot. Everyone thinks that you're great, but don't lose the plot. Just keep doing what you're doing and keep training well, and you'll get your opportunities. He will be going on the preseason tour. Thank God that news were wrong, and I was wrong. I thought that Valverde was going to completely exclude him. It was a misunderstanding, although the people that broke the news were not very clear with the news, but there I said it. If I made a mistake, I'm happy to admit it, and that's not, but I just want to put a point here that yes, he might be going on the preseason tour, but we still don't know if Rakitic is leaving, and we still don't know if Riqui Puig is going to be promoted to the first team, so that's yet to be seen. And I think that he's just technique, like he's very similar to the likes of Frenkie de Jong, to the likes of Artur Melo. He has everything to succeed at Barcelona, and it's our job to make him succeed at a club like Barcelona. If we have the chance to sign him, we should sign him. Like, and when I mean sign him, I mean promoting to the first team, because potential wise, he's probably as good as Frenkie de Jong or Arthur. Like, as the potential wise. Whether we can get him to that level is up to us. And yes, he's a little bit small and he probably hasn't developed physically as much as he should, but that is fixable. Go to the gym, just 1, 2, 3 pounds maybe. Just add a little weight, muscular mass, and you should be fine. You don't need to be extremely tall. You're a really good passer, really good reader to play, have a fantastic personality. Like, I love players that and I especially love it in young players that attempt stuff, that attempt to do things, and whenever they have the ball, they just don't do the easy pass or just pass it back. Like, no, that they attempt stuff, that they try to dribble, that they try to make an audacious pass, things like that. That they are safe, but they're so good with their ability that they know that they will get it done. And that's what I love, because that means that they're confident that they will. And any time that Riqui Puig has featured for Barcelona, he's been absolutely wonderful. Like, yes, he's gonna have mistakes, he can improve in things, but who doesn't? There's no player in the world that couldn't improve at anything. Even Lionel Messi can improve in something, so can Riqui Puig. And he will be one of the best players in the world if we let him be. If we're not gonna let him be, then we should, tell him to find another club, because it just seems a waste to not have these players succeed at your club, having him already at Barcelona. So this is the list of 5 players that I think should join Barcelona, like should improve at Barcelona next season, that should step up a higher gear to show us a real improvement of their development. But with this said and done, we must give them chances to do this. Like, we must give them a lot of minutes, continuity, chances, like real opportunity chances, just not sporadically giving them like 1,500 minutes, but those minutes are distributed by two games you play, and then you don't play for 5 games, or you're not even in the match day squad. Like, we need to give them real continuity and use them properly, if we're gonna use them. I don't talk of players like Ludovic Reis, Oriol Busquets, even Hiroki Abe. I don't talk about these players because I just think that, especially in midfield, you don't have any more space to use these players. Like Oriol Busquets has in front of him Todibo, Frenkie de Jong, Arturo Vidal, at this moment even Rakitic, Sergio Busquets. There's just too many obstacles for him in that possession. Thinking of Ludovic Reis, Hiroki Abe, I think has Abel Ruiz in front of him. At this moment, Malcolm, Coutinho, Dembele, Suarez, Griezmann, Messi. Just too much. I'm putting players that I see feasible for them to go through in the first team. But with all said and done, what do you think of the players who you think is the best talent at Barcelona right now? Who do you think could break out and be the breakout star for Barcelona next season? Leave me your comments and opinions in the comment section below. Comment, like, and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next one, Blaugranas.